these sparks are shifted into that wavelength. And so I'm going to go ahead and play this video here.
Wow. Is it interfering with the camera? Is that what's happening?
It's my bandwidth.
Oh, it's your bandwidth. Okay. I was like, is it interfering with the equipment? That's
no, it
crazy.
actually it froze on my end too. Actually, the video froze on my end. But
I've never seen a discharge pink like that, or is it red? You said.
Yeah, it's pinkish red, and I've seen it get fully red and actually go orange as well, which is super fascinating. So I'll stop my share for now because that's obviously not working. I'm going to try to find a picture of the orange spark just because my video seems to be incapable of actually.
Now, what was the orange spark doing again?
Well, the thing is, the output is coming from an aluminum terminal. I also tested it on a stainless steel terminal, and on a steel terminal does the same thing every single time. It's always the purplish red spark that turns orange at the base. And the reason for why it gets so damn hot and why the energy is concentrated so high has to do with the voltage or the ionization potential of the atmosphere. So normally it just ionizes nitrogen. A normal Tesla coil will ionize nitrogen and other atmospheric gases that are easier to ionize. And so that's why you get these brighter colored sparks. But if you can actually ionize the oxygen and then break apart the molecule, you can ionize singlet oxygen and you can get a reaction. And it's extremely in the red spectra.
Hold on,
it's easier to ionize the noble gases rather than with the stable.
That has to do with the stainless steel?
No, it doesn't. That was my main point, is that it doesn't matter whether I use an aluminum terminal or a stainless terminal or a steel terminal. It does the same thing every single time, which means that this is not metals flying from the terminal. This is actually an atmospheric phenomenon. And that's how I ruled it out, is by using different terminal conductor metals in order to guarantee that I wasn't getting vaporization of metal particles.
Gotcha. There's a specific reason why I was asking. It was Alexei was said to use stainless steel in his all threads instead of what do we have now? Something else, some kind of metal coated with zinc or something.
Yeah, I think he's using galvanized steel for his center plate.
Yeah, so that was just, if it was something different, I'd like to know. You know what I mean? So if there was a change I had to make, I'd do it.
Oh yeah, I definitely hear that. Well, I have so many pictures of this damn thing, but can't find the one. I can't find the one with the red spark. Well, there's no easy way for me to scroll through it. I have to actually open up each one independently and then click share screen every single time. So I'm just I'm bumping through them. Yeah, for some reason, Mac has this built-in function called Quick View, and you can simply view a video or an image, and you can scroll through the entire folder that way. But unfortunately, there's no way to share Quick View because it's a built-in secure feature. So in order to actually share a video, I have to open that video in QuickTime Player, VLC, or some other video player on a Mac. So I'll go ahead and present this too. You can actually see that it goes red at my fingertips, which is close enough.
Okay, I don't have anything yet.
Not yet.
Oh, thought I was missing it or something, man. I'm going crazy.
Kind of like our ball lightning videos, Jeremiah?
Right. Yeah, we did some pretty good work on ball lightning. Okay, so I'll play this. And so those are my fingertips.
Cool. You must have some nice holes in your fingertips.
No, you don't really feel this at all, which is really interesting. It feels hot. It feels like it just kind of feels like you have a really bright light shining on your hand. And it does make your nerves twitch a bit, but that's because there is a huge amount of potential there. And so as it contacts your skin, it actually turns into current, and that's why you get the color change in the arc.
And this is from your Tesla coil?
Yeah, this is from the magnifying transmitter that I built based on the designs that popped into my head when I asked Tesla how to build a magnifying transmitter.
Well, let's hope that Tesla's
That's
on my
awesome.
side this coming Monday, because I'm going to shock the living daylights out of myself with this. I'm going for it, man.
He's going for it.
We're doing some high voltage, man. I'm going to hook up my Tesla coil. So is that AC or DC, so I don't kill myself?
Yeah, that's all AC, and it works pretty well, so no major.
All right, here we go.
Are you going to live stream
Get
that?
nuts in his garage. What's
Nathan,
that?
are you going to live
Please
stream
do
that?
live stream,
Yeah,
so if
that's
you
one
do
of
get
the
zapped, we
honest
can
here.
call an ambulance for you immediately.
There you go. Call the ambulance for me, because, man, I'm going to light it up. I got all kinds of good electronic toys in my garage, man. I'm going to light some stuff up.
Yeah, it's about time for me and my girlfriend to go back over the CPR stuff. And
Yeah, for sure.
Safety first.
You better call a medic
Yeah.
first.
That's
let
why
me grab this thing real quick. You guys will love this.
I don't know if you noticed, Exotic, but when I did the testing with the neodymium sphere, I grabbed my hard hat. I didn't know what it was gonna do.
Oh, my God.
That's funny.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
man. Oh, man.
like I was afraid it was gonna fly up into the ceiling.
Wow. Yeah, I'll tell you what, one hand at a time. Keep the other hand behind your back, or play pocket pool, do something else, but don't get it anywhere near that.
Oh, the
other
one hand
end.
rule. Yeah, I was just reading about that. So you put one hand in your pocket to eliminate accidentally touching something to complete the circuit or whatever.
Okay, let me tell you a story, okay? I built a voltage multiplier to my AC flyback, okay? 24 volts going in. I made the mistake of grabbing one side and grabbing the other, okay?
Oh boy.
Oh, man, I lit up like a Christmas tree. My hair started frizzing a little bit, man. I was like,
Chevy
oh,
Chase.
God. I sat down and rethought my whole life. You know, it was just awful. It was nothing like the
wow.
little shock you get once in a while. You go, ow, that's okay. No. This was like life-changing. It reminded me of the time I was playing my circuit breaker out back, and I had put the top of it, I laid it down on my head, and I was playing with the breakers like a moron, okay? And I took some kind of a voltage return that zapped right through my skull into this thing and made the loop. Thank God it did, because if it just stayed in my body, I'd be dead.
Do you wear any kind of do you wear insulated boots or anything like that when you work around high voltage?
Nope.
Or no. So I know some people, they'll wear like insulated boots or insulated equipment. I wonder if it even helps though.
Well, we're not talking super high amps here with the volts. So, I mean, we're in milliamps with volts, so it's relatively safe, but not really. But
so it's still gonna push it back a little bit.
Yeah, it would be different if I had higher amps into it and then high volts. Then it's a death ray. It would just kill you. There's no getting around that. You're just dead.
Yeah, right now it's just gonna bite you and bite you hard.
I had a friend who grabbed he grabbed an extension wire at work that was exposed, and it fried his arm to the point where it just like all the nerve endings were just constantly in pain.
My dad used to tell a story. He worked in the mines, and when they would set up a new mine, they had to run all the cabling and the 220 and stuff. Him and his buddies, they used to do this as a joke. I never understood that this was funny. But if you grab your buddy's arm, and I don't recommend this, let me say this right now, nobody in public, please do this. You grab your buddy's arm and you grab the 220 line really quick. Oh. You'll throw your buddy 5 feet against the wall without really hurting him. But boy, it's a kick. He said he had it done to him 3 or 4 times. So
boy, it's a kick.
His buddies. I don't recommend it. I'm just saying.
What's an explosive shock between friends, huh?
Right? They must have been good buddies, I guess.
I'd say.
Oh,
I don't want anybody to shock me.
my dad miswired the shop out back. It was a 2,400 square foot metal building. So every time he touched the doorknob, you'd get shocked. He misplayed something on the neutral or the ground or something, and he thought it was the funniest thing because he was used to it, so he opened it up no problem. But the rest of us, oh, you go near my shop, you're gonna get zapped. You can't play with my toys.
Here's a defense mechanism for you.
Oh man, it's so great. Yeah, voltage is fun, man. Oh man, did I ever have fun lighting some stuff up with some high voltage like a year ago? God, that was all I was doing was lighting everything up. If it came in, I don't care what it was. It was trinkets in the drawer, man. I lit it up. So
I hear that. When I first started experimenting with the big coil that I show all the time, I used to load capacitors, like just little 25 UF 100 volt capacitors, and I'd get it right up to about 85 volts. And then I'd wait for my wife to come walking down the hall, and I'd just tap it, and the thing would explode. It sounded like a shotgun shell. She'd jump every time.
I'm surprised you're still alive after that.
I'm surprised I'm still married. Never mind.
Oh man, my wife's gonna buy me a fire extinguisher for Christmas and my birthday and every other occasion after what she sees next week.
I'm gonna buy her one for her birthday, just so you don't burn down her house and she has a husband and stays alive, right?
Maybe a fire suit to go along with it just to save him after. I don't know. I'm just kidding.
Oh, I got an emergency shutoff for the power, man. So if she comes in and I'm half dead, there's a big red button.
Nice.
Be flopping like a fish on the floor. She coming to visit me. Hey, here's your dinner. Oh my God, what happened to Nathan?
Yeah, all you got to do is grab a handful of this thing. This is a nice little bipolar test coil.
I don't know how to do it, Crypto.
Just at the very bottom of where there's like each of the screens of the presenters, you just like click on it, I think in like the top right or left corner, and it'll say solo layout or highlight.
Okay, I don't have that. Hold on.
Oh.
Let me solo layout.
There you go. See? Looky what we have there.
So it's a basic bipolar Tesla coil, built on a classic wooden frame. We have two arc terminals at the top. I've got it connected to an ungrounded lithium-ion battery, 8.4 volts going into it. And this is a DC-driven coil, so it's basically the first two of three stages of the multiplier. And because it's a DC-driven coil, it does generate a plasma rectification at the terminals, but you'll hear it. And I apologize ahead of time for the sound down there between those two shiny screw terminals. Here and here is the spark gap. So I'll turn it on for a second. So you can see the spark gap.
Very nice.
So I'll go ahead and connect that wire.
Yeah, that's really cool. That is really cool.
And I'll spread the terminal distance out. So again, sorry for the sound. I know this thing is probably the most annoying sound in the world.
Plasma.
But the weird thing is, what you can't see on camera is the smell in the air. So
the ozone being created.
It's ionizing a holy load of ozone right now. And the reason is the extremely high potential. So when the primary coil impulse fires, it's coming from this big red capacitor bank right over here. And all of these are ultra-fast polypropylene capacitors, and they're ran in a parallel chain configuration. And then I've got 2 compensation ceramics just to deal with the impedance mismatch of the primary coil, because I have to go a full turn instead of a half turn. And so these capacitors take care of that. And then it's being powered by a DC ZVS-driven circuit that has a full-wave rectifier that's right here. You'll recognize that blue capacitor, ceramic, and the high voltage diodes that are surrounding it as a very crude full-wave rectifier. And, overall, it works incredibly well. I mean, the key to this coil working so well, the thing that I discovered is exactly what we have read about years ago. Thoriated tungsten electrodes allow the system to run cold. So this spark gap, you would expect the spark gap here to get hot while it's operating, but it stays virtually at room temperature. And I've had circumstances where if I balance the impedance and the phase mismatch of the secondary just right, sure. So how can that possibly happen? You know, how can we lose thermodynamic energy to 2 thoriated tungsten electrodes that are 3 millimeters in diameter?
You must be getting you must be accessing the vacuum and creating cold electricity somehow.
Right, which is basically why I was looking at this simple setup and like, oh, I can hook a battery to this and demonstrate this for you guys. And
no, that's really cool. That just shows you there's multiple different routes to get to the same solution of free energy. You know, there's so many different ways and so many, and even basic circuits. And that's something that I learned recently through, you know, the works of John Bedini and all that stuff. But you know, it was mind blowing. Like, oh, scientific consensus, the mainstream, you know, way that we are taught, you know, those little rules that people like to ignore that create instability in the system. And then no, Tom Bearden comes out and says, no, you want that instability and you want to use it.
I don't know if it's related, but when I've been running my machine, the main wires, the big wires, the coloured wires that make up the pyramidal shapes in the middle, they get warm when it first starts up, but the longer I run it, the colder they get. There's no heat there eventually. I don't know.
So it's an endothermic reaction, and it's taking heat out of the environment, correct? It's cooling down the longer it's running, you say?
Yeah, the wires don't get hot after a while at all. There's no temperature to them. I've not obviously took proper readings, but just to the touch, when you first start running it, when it's slower, it's quite warm. But as the ball speeds up and it's been running a while, there's no heat in those wires. It just made me think of it when you were talking about that.
Sounds similar to like the Searle effect generator and a few other magnetic disk systems.
Yeah, we find that we can pump in a tremendous amount of current in some of these circuits, and they just don't get hot, which is really counterintuitive. I mean, you can calculate out the resistance, the effective impedance of the circuit using copper conductors or whatever conductors you're using. We've tried aluminum, we've tried carbon nanotubes, we've tried quite a number of different types of conductive materials in order to optimize these effects, and there's a lot farther that we can go with that. That's a Pandora's box that we opened up and realized that the conductors that you use can massively increase the gains on the system. So outside of that, though, yeah, these anomalous effects, you've got to pay super close attention in order to spot them. A lot of them you wouldn't even notice, or you could just write off to being noise or, you know, a measurement error, and they'll simply go away. I'm surprised that Gerald isn't talking about more of what you just brought up, Merkaba.
What, instabilities?
Exactly, because that's entirely how your system works.
Yep, 7 different instabilities. You put them all together, and they manage to dynamically multiply everything in the system. And those are the things that electrical engineers excuse me, purposefully do their best to get rid of in a circuit or in a system itself. Like you said, noise, right? Well, when you're trying to get rid of noise in a circuit, I like using that noise. It's all part of it. Know how to use it, so to speak. It's like a
interesting. It's interesting, you know. You would think that at least them two together and say, you know, we're trying to increase efficiency, but we're not utilizing any of this noise that we're creating in these systems. You know, like it seems like you would want to try to tag that as one of the inefficiencies in the system right away. You know, like how do I use this?
I blame it on years of doing things one way, and that old saying, if it ain't broke,
it goes against the grain. Yeah.
You know what? I was hated since I was born.
Right, well, like the system is broken now, and we already are the ones going against the grain. So let's
take it all
going
against what drives me
is the only way I know how.
I hate to tell you all, but you have, and I know the size of your channel, BurnEye, and this is the first time I'm meeting Merkaba. And I know you, Benefactor, but I don't know subscribed yet, so shame on me, but feel free to post a link in the chat so other people can if they want to. Anyways, sure. Known you guys for a while, kind of have an idea about how big your influence is. A lot of people working on this stuff, and some of us actually have achieved success in the categories. Talk about it because there's a lot of baggage attached to that success. Sometimes it takes years of research just to reach the point of full understanding, and then you're kind of stuck with this conundrum of, well, do I tell everybody about what I think I've discovered, about what I believe is going on, or do I continue to research this and try to fully understand it before I talk about
it? You know what? I'm of the mind like this. I really don't give two flying fornications what academia thinks, and I couldn't care less if it was proven one way or the other. I'm lighting lights in my house and charging batteries without moving parts, and I don't really care if there's a theory put to it or a mathematical calculation. Proof's in the pudding, and I got chocolate. So
at the end of the day, you have the results of it, right? You're benefiting from it every day.
And I'm actually building multiple devices. Every day I'm finishing a new device based on these principles. And I'm going to share it all. There's no benefit. It was freely given to me. I'm freely giving it. I don't care. The way that I see it, if everybody has free energy in a grid down scenario, nobody's coming for mine. I don't know if that's self-serving or not. I apologize.
I would just say get it out soon. You know, if you're going to get it out, get it out soon.
Oh, I have a dead man switch on. Don't kid yourself. There's 37 people on that list, maybe more. I'll just say 37 confirmed. Anything happens to me overnight, everybody's getting. So I'm not worried about that. I'm just sort of working it one day at a time. But anybody and everybody who's working on this that gets to a level where they're seeing anomalous effects, you should have more than one dead man switch put in play. You should have a digital, you should have a physical. There's a few things that people should do to protect themselves just in case. So let me say this. I'd never in 100 million years commit suicide. Ever. It's not in my belief system. It's not in me. So I'm saying that right now. So for the record, that's it. That's all.
Right there with you. I think there's all the things going on in all of our projects. I don't want to release anything until I reasonably know what's going on. Like it may do the effect you want it to do, but I'm not telling you about it until I can have a firm understanding of what I'm doing and how the flow got there. Because that's the first question everybody asks, isn't it?
Right,
Yeah,
exactly. And especially with your system, you're working with a lot higher voltages, you know, and potentially dangerous scenarios. So, you know, you don't really
Not
know
so
what's
much
going
high voltage. It's switching. It's changing fields.
Yeah, like I'm not saying I don't understand my system. I've written lots on my system. I just don't care if academia understands it. You know what I mean? But yeah, you're not wrong. It's better to understand.
I don't think academia really understands like much at all these days, so it shouldn't be the top concern, right? It's like if it works, teach others how to build it so it can work for them.
Honestly, my concern with the academia goes about this far. I try to do my research mindfully enough where I use the correct terminology in any kind of disclosure that I'm going to present. So I want to use the same terms along, but whether or not they approve or disapprove of what I'm presenting, I could give one less about. So the evidence stands for itself, stands beyond theory, and I don't really care what anybody has to say beyond that point, but I do try to use the correct terminology because I want us to be able to at least communicate on the same plane. It's important to learn the terms. I know that, academia is this big bane for a lot of people, and myself included in that, because, well, they've got their very closed loop, closed-minded thinking paradigms, and trying to even step outside those bounds, you can get tremendous pushback.
It's a click. You know what
it
I mean?
is, exactly.
Like, I understand, to speak their language is something that's important in order for a barrier to be broken down between the experimenter / inventor and the academic world for understanding theory and the physics behind it. I totally understand that. I can speak the language if I chose. The issue is it's their language, and it was purposefully, I don't know what you would call, I wouldn't say purposefully, but it was built throughout time in order to separate themselves from the regular, everyday, average guy. And if that wasn't done, maybe people wouldn't be so predisposed to looking at academia like a foreign force, so to speak. And I don't think that way. Don't get me wrong.
You're not wrong about that. You're really not. I mean, that's a lot of people out there. Your home experimenters, folks like us here today. They look at these academic articles that are entirely propagated with mathematics, with no relation to reality whatsoever, and it's just these impossible figures that don't make any sense, and they've tried to use as many symbols as they possibly could because, well, it makes them look smarter. So I get that whole prospect of it, but at the same time, to learn the language, they're not okay. I'll reword this. You can use the academic principles currently available in the mainstream to prove these theories and dynamics that we're talking about. It turns out that these principles do exist and comply with many conventional theories, especially the big ones like general relativity, Lorentz transform, quantum electrodynamics, and others that we could get into. But you can fit what we're working on into these already recognized academic principles. Even if they're not recognized by the academics themselves, it's because they don't understand the text they are reading. If you understand it better than they do, which is not particularly hard to do, you just simply read through it and say, well, I've got a real-world visualization of what this looks like, and I can derive these other principles that are part of this equation from that visualization. If you can visualize in your mind, and you've got a huge advantage. And you can see these effects happening in real time in your mind. So this is one of the things that the group of us like to do, is get together and, you know, we sort of co-visualize some of these phenomena and then discuss the implications of how these effects interact. Cross-field interactions, wave interferometry, scalar and Hertzian potentials.
Hey guys, real quick before we go any further, Makaba is going to take off. He's much later than we are. It's like 8 hours ahead of us.
Oh, wow.
So sorry, Merkaba. Amazing work. I had to say that. Thank you very much for sharing.
Thanks, Gerald.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you to all of you.
Amazing research.
Yeah, I'll be back. I'm definitely coming back to one of these. I've enjoyed.
We look forward to it. Yeah.
Merrier.
I'll put you on the list, man, to give you an invite for every one of them.
Brilliant.
Thank you
very
so
much
much
for your
coming,
time, guys.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank
Catch
you.
you later. Bye now.
Bye. I'm probably not going to stay on too much longer myself. I got to finish up that Divine Science editing. Almost done. Gotta finish that up tonight.
Yeah, me too. I have to jet too. I was going to say, I agree with you, Jeremiah, but I like what Nathan does. He likes to fry it and find out.
I've got no problem with frying it. You know, the new circuit that I'm putting together with the 6-phase sequencer is all 3 terminal blocks for each individual MOSFET. So when they do blow, which hopefully I blow a couple of them, you know, because I'm going to push it to that max power level, then they're easy to swap.
Do you guys, or Nathan, do you mind quickly just playing the Merkaba video of the design of his for my channel? As we're also, I went live on my channel, but I've yet to cover his generator, where you've actually gone quite extensive into it the last few episodes on your channel and on these think tanks, and it is something else.
Yeah, I'll put it up right now for you.
Thank you, sir.
Matter of fact, we can play a couple of them if you want.
Oh, this is cool.
Right, and just so many of us making our own designs and coming up with anomalous breakthrough results.
That's one of the coolest thing I've seen when I saw it.
Where did you find this, Nathan? Just on YouTube?
To be honest with you, man, I was on Facebook and he contacted me. And we got talking back and forth, and he showed me this, and I was just in awe. And I'm like, okay, everybody's got to see this.
Yeah, this is definitely unique. It's definitely unique.
Oh, I should have asked, how are you doing the frequency sweep on that?
That's bad.
So he doesn't have a motor spinning that? It's like magnets and coils that are causing the spin. Is that correct?
Those orange coils and those green coils are causing the rotation.
Wow. That's wild.
And he's putting an amplifier into it. It goes into the little coils around it, and it's making frequency inside.
So no actual motor, physical mechanical motor going in. That's all rotation from coil fields, electromagnetic fields causing rotation.
Yeah, in crypto, you'll love this. He uses ancient history as the design for this stuff. So
that's awesome.
When you look at his work, he's looking at flow works, you know what I mean, in ancient symbols and stuff like that. and all that kind of work.
Yep.
And I can show you that in a little bit.
Wow.
But
Yes,
that's where he's
please.
getting his designs from, the triangles and the, you know, I mean, different shapes. He shows a shape earlier in the video of what he's actually doing. It's Makaba is what he says.
I love how he has a ferrite magnet on the bottom, but it's so far away from the actual spherical magnet. There's no way it could affect it unless that Merkaba design's actually doing something.
Right. Exactly.
So here, I'll show some more of his stuff so you guys understand.
Please do. This is wild. The sacred geometry. It's designs. It's two-dimensional blueprints of 3D things, right?
Yeah, this ties in kind of to Bob Grainier's research.
Yeah, so this one right here, he's going to tell you how fast this thing was going. Top speed. Now, he says that every one of the frequencies you have to put in one at a time on the coils in order for it to work. So each one of them is doing something different to the magnet in the center. I would have loved it if you could put a little ball on it, a little line on there, a little line just to show where it's at. I don't know if you see it at that speed, though. So in this one, he's using copper ball inside of that little piece right there. The piece of plastic in there, and I'll turn it back on. Sorry,
a little bit. Let's say looking in there earlier, but I think it's probably gone now. But when we bring it close to the spinning magnet, stealing a lot of the thunder. The magnet's slowing while the copper ball's increasing.
Okay, I'll pull up another one. Oops, sorry. Still not as good as you are at this, Bernie. So I'll figure it out.
Sorry, I've got to run, but
You're learning, right?
it was a pleasure.
Oh, Jeremiah, I needed to talk to you, but fine. Savage.
Oh, yeah. You know how I am.
All right, Jeremiah, thank you for showing up, man. It was really cool. You guys did stuff on the early part of the show with
Love you, JP.
with all the mercury was awesome.
You know, we love to do the experiments, right? That's who we are. We are a community when we try to support each other. And when there's an interesting topic like this one with rotating mercury and gravitational effects or electromotive forces, we've simply got to investigate it. You know, it's
100%.
practically an enigmatic compulsion. We have to do it.
I'll have to review that. I only caught the back end of it, and that's awesome you came on.
So I will catch everyone later, but thank you so much for the great show, Nathan. And
Right on. Thank you.
You
Yeah,
guys
thank you,
catch
Exotic.
it easy, and hopefully I'll see your future shows and determine based on the title if I'm going to join. So I'll see you then. Take it easy.
Yeah, we hope to see you. Bye.
Much love, Jeremiah.
All right, so let me pull up another one here for you guys. I'll just pull up his channel here in a minute. He does the mercury experiment, but he also, I'll show it to you right now. So look real quick at the ends of the mercury and look at the divot inside those right now. It's actually pulling in and sucking in like a vortex. So you can see it on the right and left side of it.
That's interesting.
So they definitely got some way cool experiments. So, all right, guys, go ahead and talk for a minute. I'm going to pull up his channel again and get this thing going. Hello.
I was just stepping out for a cigarette for a moment and then coming back. I was like, play the video so I can step out for a smoke. Then I promise I've got lots to discuss as soon as I'm done.
Oh, man, right on.
It was a quick video, Bernie. That's all.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Well, shoot.
It looks like Ben just disappeared. Maybe while running that Mercury, it was like poof. I'm kidding. I kind of wonder though, if you had a Mercury chamber in the middle of that Merkaba, but it was shaped differently, kind of like a tube in a tube, and the inner tube would be shorter than the outer tube, so that the Mercury could climb up the center tube, fall into the outer tube, and then come up from underneath and climb back up again, kind of like a magnetic field line excursion. I don't know, just a thought. I wish I had enough Mercury to try it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, this one he changed the center out, and he's actually got it going inside of this little piece of 3D printed material here, and he's pulling. I would imagine the lights are connected to it, and it shows it lighting up as he goes.
Wow. I don't think I've seen this one.
Remember, he was talking about the different types of LEDs as well.
Yeah, because they light at different voltages and at different currents.
Yeah, it's just so cool.
Yeah, I guess that's solid state. That's kind of like what I've been doing. That's awesome.
Yeah, well, I think he's still got the magnet in the center, but it's producing the field, and you start to see it. I kind of wonder what would happen if you put the Tesla meter in there and just to see how much Tesla force is in there between the actual outside frame and the rotating magnet, because you're getting two different fields.
Yeah, but is he rotating the magnet right now?
Inside the little piece of...
oh, he is. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's on mute or something.
Oh, yeah, I put it on mute. I'm sorry. I'll play it again.
That makes sense.
It gets loud. There you go.
Right. Okay. That's fair. Now that makes sense why the bulbs are lighting up. He's capturing that back EMF.
Yeah.
From the actual spin. That's pretty cool.
Dude, that whole design, just the way it looks, is cool. So
you're not wrong.
He's got a new one. Okay. So,
something different?
He built a second one. So let me pull up his work. He shows it. Let me share the screen on this right quick.
Awesome.
So I need to remove some stuff. It'll take me just a second. Share the screen. So this is his new machine here. Let me start it over.
Wow, look at that. He put some love into that.
Yeah, he did. I think he's got a lot more hiding under there. I'd love to see it because he's talked about the coils being set up. So
interesting.
Yeah, this guy's channel's all interesting.
Yeah, I want to see what that thing's going to produce. I just started looking at his work, but it's based on the same principles.
Yeah, you just don't have the rotating magnet in the center. All the other types of things, field upon field, is all kind of in there.
Yeah.
You might have to get with him, Gerald. He has to talk to you. So I send him your channel. I'm going to send him your email if that's okay.
Yes.
Going on here, because I'm sure your work is going to cross over with his. Very good.
Yeah, I imagine it will. Looking at his system and seeing how it works, I imagine it'll cross over quite a bit.
those little spikes every time captured in that capacitor.
Absolutely. I already have a good idea on what I can do with his system right now.
Wow.
I've already took it apart in my head and put it back. Something I've done since I was a kid. Maybe it's a really good imagination. Maybe it's, I don't know. But I can see it perfectly in my mind exactly how to improve what he's doing. What he's doing is already awesome.
Yeah. He's ahead of me, and you're ahead of me on all that. I haven't worked on that stuff in a while, man.
Yeah, but you're ahead of me on high voltage, so you win.
I don't know that I win.
No, I'm seriously kidding, but you know what I mean.
I win the booty prize. You're getting shocked a lot.
Yeah. I've gotten shocked a lot too. Not so much with as much high voltage as you, but yeah, definitely.
Oh my God. I think I see it in my dreams where it shocks me.
You definitely feel it in your sleep, right?
Oh my God.
Your body's aching and
my arthritis in my hands keeps getting worse, and I'm thinking it's from that high voltage getting shocked every few days.
Yeah, that might be it. Little inflammation there bursts.
The exact opposite from Dr. Ho's shock therapy.
Yeah. It is the opposite. It has the opposite effect in my body, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
I need Gerald's coil to heal my hands again.
I agree. I totally agree. Need to pull zapped.
I gotta pull some of it.
Yeah.
Hey, check this out, Crypto. You back from smoking?
Yes, I am. I'm here.
Nope.
Nope.
Check it out. I wanted to show you this because, I know you're all into this stuff, so check it out. This is where his inspiration comes from.
Oh, yeah.
So he's saying the energy swirls and it makes this pattern in there. And the swastika is just the energy flowing in that pattern.
Of it. I've seen
the vortex
with that.
I'd have to agree with them because I don't want to give away certain things that are in my coil. But I'll say this: when you take a form of a triangle and you spin it, you can see that swastika in the form when you're building your coil. That's
an ancient symbol. Yeah, that predates just for anybody watching who isn't aware. This predates the Nazis taking the symbol and adapting it. This is very ancient symbol. It goes back to Buddhism and other ancient religions.
Thousands of years, right?
Yeah, it wasn't always.
This would explain why they still have it carved in so many of the different temples across Asia and India and whatnot, is because
they clearly knew something we didn't.
Energy of it.
Yeah, they clearly knew something we don't.
It was part of their power system, and I believe 12,500 years ago, maybe even 13,000 before the flood. I believe that they had this tech. I think that they had free lighting. I think that they had motors, electrostatics. I think they had mastered this electricity. And then after the flood, it's like starting over again, right?
So here he's trying to visualize how it goes in. And he first came up with this one right here, where he thought the magnetic field was just spinning like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but a magnetic field never spins like that. It always spins in spheres, right? But on the opposite side, it pulls in the energy. And what he was saying is the energy pulled in is like this. It makes that Makaba shape. And I wish I can go back and show you the live. I'm not sure. Oh, there's the shape right there, or kind of close to it, where he has the different triangles in it. I'm trying to find it real quick.
That's wild. How it just sucks in those particles.
Yeah. Let me see what he's got. Oh, so it's a different one. But he was saying like the spin and the different triangles and stuff like that. And this is a representation. If you put it in 3D, it's more like the, I want to say Israeli or or their symbol. You know what I mean? That star.
A Star of David, right?
The Star of David, yeah.
That's what his Makaba looks like. So I'm trying to find, if you see it in 3D, it's a lot different than seeing it in 2D like this. So trying to see if you had it.
The Star of David's like the 2D version of an actual Merkaba. And what magnetic or Merkaba magneticity, I'll say it eventually properly. What he built is an actual Merkaba.
Now, I'm very impressed with this whole setup. It's very unique. It's something that I didn't think would be even possible, but I mean, clearly it is. Just with but I mean, I haven't really researched triangle power yet. You know, pyramid power. It's something that I haven't really delved into, but hey, this is really cool.
I hate to break it to you, Ben.
There's a lot.
You're holding on to I wouldn't say a weaker version. You're holding on to a different version of the heart of a pyramid. That's what all this vortex tech is literally the core heart of a pyramid. If you go 1/3 down on the inside apex of a pyramid, there's a cluster of charge density that forms in every pyramid just due to the very shape and the movement of the earth itself.
Does this have anything to do with the hourglass shape that is the inside
Similar.
of the course?
The hourglass shape is a form of a pinch, right? Well, the heart of a pyramid is the form of a pinch as well. It's actually the bottom half of the circumference of the pinch. And if you go up through the apex of the pyramid and were to take the exact same size pyramid, flip it upside down, and go point to point, you now have the identical circumference of that energy heart of a pyramid and the apex above it in that secondary pyramid. So between two pyramids from point to point, one facing down, one facing up, you get a pinch in the middle of those two pyramids in that point. And then the vortex shows up on the inside apex of both. And that's what the hourglass kind of means. So the Merkaba is like a compression of both, almost the form of a portal, or you could almost consider it a wormhole in a sense, because it compresses both into one solid sphere, or ball lightning, or call it what you will. That's my theory anyway. If I'm correct, I don't know. We'll see.
I know one thing's for sure, and that is that I'm definitely going to have to consult with you when I do my episode on Joe Parr.
Sure. Nathan has a lot of information on pyramids as well.
Yeah.
Definitely do.
So, yeah, I it's not going to be anytime soon, but definitely have to consult with you guys on pyramids, because I don't know jack about pyramid power or anything in that regards to what Joe Parr was doing with the shape of the pyramid.
Well, there's more to it than that. Even Nathan was, he even clued me to a piece that I was missing. So it's everybody has their piece of the puzzle. And I think if we come together and we all express it, we're going to find how it all comes together.
Well, we're going to find Waldo, finally. We're going to finally find Waldo.
It's like if you take a piece of quartz and you turn it the correct way and you take a big neodymium magnet, you'll feel the force. It feels like eddy current. When you put it close to rotating magnets, it'll actually have a force that pushes against it.
Absolutely.
So a lot of people don't know that. They just think quartz, whatever. And I keep telling people, you got to activate the quartz. You have to be able to take the oxygen in there and take all of the streams in there of the oxygen and be able to magnetize them against a magnet. Then you're going to start to get a force, because think about it then. If you're getting a force of eddy current inside your piezo, if you simply can put that side close to it and then rotate the magnet, what are you going to get then? Are you going to get the piezo to light up? Is it, you know what I mean? Is that piece of quartz going to do something special for you? If you simply took a piezo disc and attach it to a piece of quartz on one side, can you get that pulse rate to push in there and get you to get it to light up? There's just a lot of different things about quartz you should think about. And then you also have to think of how you're going to pull the energy out, because you can spark two things together, but that's not going to give you the energy. You actually have to put it in salt water or some kind of water with fluoride in it in order to pull the energy out, because you want to put the wires in the bowl of water with the fluoride in there mixed. And in California, they put fluoride in the water, so it doesn't really matter. But what I'm saying is every time you tap it, you're going to get an energy that pulses out. You can't just pulse it through the quartz. You have to find a medium to pulse it through. That's what the Egyptians knew, and we didn't.
Absolutely.
So the salt water or the water acts like a conductor.
Yes.
For the electricity to flow out. Yeah.
Fluoride is in rainwater. So when you have around the base of the pyramids, you have this valley that's all the way around it, and it's held in by a little wall. Okay. When you have rainwater in there, or you take the Sphinx right there and you fill it up with water in that little pool thing they have sitting there around it, and it goes and flows over to that other area, it'll always keep it filled with that fluoride water in there. And then actual quartz, excuse me, not the quartz, the granite will pull it up inside the pyramid. It acts like a candle wick. So it'll actually keep the entire thing soaked in water. Just like we have water in the center of our earth that's held in there in rock, it does the same thing.
Yeah, it's hydrophilic. That was the thing that you clued me into that I wasn't fully up on. That's awesome.
That's crazy.
We could probably set up a clear box and then basically just take a heating coil and take a piece of granite, put some part of it in water. We could suck up all of the water into it, heat it, and then it'll come up as vapor and then come back down. It looks like kind of rain on the sides. And then we could keep just a whole thing rotating with changing from water to, heat to, what I mean? Everything else.
Yeah, evaporation, condensation, all that. That's an interesting experiment.
I'd love to put a ring of high voltage around the top just to see if I can get a cloud to form.
I started building a real life pyramid that's 3 feet tall. I haven't finished it yet, and it's on the back burner right now. I had announced it on Ashton Forbes' channel. I actually got the recipe for building the brick that's the original formulation for the pyramids themselves out of the Geopolymer Foundation, and I tested it, and it's the actual stuff, and it is hydrophilic, just like granite. So so I started building bricks, and I got it about 1/3 done, and I built the other bricks, and I just have to continue to put it together and shave the bricks down and make it like pyramid shape. But when I get that done, I'd love to do what you said, get a bunch of plexiglass and maybe encase it in plexiglass and then try that experiment. I kind of wonder. That's really, you got me thinking.
The plexiglass would add a static shield or field around it, no?
Yeah, well,
that's why I want to see if it gets into a cloud.
Yeah, see, you got me thinking again, Nathan. See, we all have our talents. Yours is high voltage. I love it. Okay, yeah. We'll have to get that done eventually.
Hey, Bernie, what were you showing a minute ago? What was that?
So this guy here, I kind of destroyed it at Jeremiah's request because he wanted to see how it was built. But I need to rewrap it. It's a tetrahedron pyramid of just copper wire and aluminum foil that when I had it made properly, the majority of people that would hold it in their palm, you instantly feel heat being formed underneath it, to the point that lots of people felt like they were being burnt and had to drop it. And then what was very interesting is that anyone that was intoxicated on alcohol or anything, just no effect at all, as if it wouldn't create that energy or collect the energy that it used to.
That's crazy.
Create the heat.
Just with the geometry alone. Yeah.
Yeah, of just power. Like copper copper wires in there in triangular fashion on how it's,
I'm sure touching your body creates some kind of closed circuit of some kind of, but what?
Or open circuit that's then collecting energy out of the static field or heat from the environment.
Well,
right.
I think
No, that's probably more accurate.
I think alcohol. Sorry, let me remove this real quick. I think
You're
alcohol pulls in all of your blood to the center of your body and tries to burn off the alcohol in your body, so you wouldn't get the same feeling you would. It's like sitting in a bunch of cold water. Your body automatically pulls everything from your extremities and pulls it inward.
Huh.
So that's probably why you couldn't feel it when you're on alcohol and why you get in accidents and you don't know that you broke your arm. But the fact that it actually makes your hand hot when normal condition is just totally amazing. Sorry.
Right? No worries.
Still trying to get used to it.
Oh, you're learning. You're doing good. Yeah, right. Ben, have you any new developments with your PoE coil?
Not entirely. I haven't really had time to work on phase 2, but we have decided we are going with the Bedini circuit. If you or anybody you know has I think we're looking for a 24-volt battery that's completely used up, maybe like 3 volts coming out of it. We need one for phase 2 testing. Like I can buy a new one, but I have to shop around for a used one that's, gonna be able to serve as a good experiment. See if we can rejuvenate it.
I've got a version of Bedini circuit you're gonna want to try after you try your version, because it does something just a little bit different than what Bedini was doing. But yeah, and it allows you to gather power real fast, slam it into a cap bank, and use it as a ground or as a load.
But to just extend on what I was saying there, Crypto, lately I've been in crunch mode trying to get this video out, and it will be out Saturday at 8 p.m. So I'll send you all an invite to the premiere and all that. It's going to be really great. It's going to be about an hour long. It's going to be on time travel. So, but once that's out, it's all phase 2, baby. So,
well, I'm going to time travel ahead and go watch it.
Come back and tell us how it was.
It's good. It's good. I don't want to spoil anything, but I think I've reached the height of my production quality abilities. You see, like in my previous videos, I was kind of
awesome.
like 80% there, 90% there. But well, I like as a self-critic, I have to be realistic. But I think I really nailed it with this one. So I think you guys are going to enjoy it.
I call it the Spider-Man principle. With great power comes great responsibility. It's true.
For sure.
All right, guys, you know what? I hate to bail on you, but I'm getting a stink eye. I got to go make supper and all that family jazz. So thank you for having me on, Nathan. It's been a great conversation. Hopefully we can do this again.
Thank you, Gerald.
Yeah.
See you guys.
Gerald.
Much love, Gerald.
Later, Bernie.
Here's a picture of an ice cube with the colloidal gold silver water that I make. And you can see the exclusion zones and the fields of bubbles that it produces there. And
speaking of that activated, I'm sorry, go ahead.
That there's I've got many of these ice cubes that's like just,
so there's no coil in there, it's just the air bubbles.
Yeah, you got it.
It's just how it activated water. You gotta email me your recipe. How do you make that activated water that you drink?
I just make monoatomic gold out of pure gold anode, pure gold cathode, and salt water, and then collect the monatomic material at the base of it.
Do you have like a video where you show the process or anything written down?
Many videos.
Yeah, just when you get time, send me a couple of links of some videos of you going through the process, and because I'd like to make my own for sure.
Absolutely. And then from there, You just rinse it out a whole bunch to get the salt out. And after about 9 rinses, then I start using the colloidal water at the top there that absorbs the monoatomics as that water that you saw that froze into that ice cube there. And then I'm testing the plants with, and some of the water that I drink with.
What do you mean testing the plants with? You're using it on the plants?
Yes, absolutely. I'm doing agricultural alchemy experiments with these jars of water here, some of the purple and silver gold, as well as using the white monoatomic and trying some of the blue oxidized diatomic. And as I suspected, the blue and turquoise diatomic oxidized water actually harms the plants, stunts them, and poisons them, where the white and the purple monoatomic water exponentially increase the growth rate of the plants.
So white and purple does good and the rest kills them?
So white and purple are good, and then I suspect the yellow, the blue, the green are the bad ones.
I remember you mentioning the blue one on stream was toxic. You wouldn't drink it. Would that be like something you could accidentally make?
It does start. So when you start the reaction, it produces the white monoatomic to begin with, and then about an hour or two into the reaction, then it starts oxidizing off, and after that it goes into the other 6 colored states of transmutations of elements that Isaac Newton talks about.
That's crazy.
Hey, Bernie, there was a question here for you.
Here's some more pictures of different ice cubes with these fields. Oops, wrong one.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, you can see it. Wow. You can see the wave. It's literally a waveform.
Exactly.
Wow. You've captured the effing frequency.
Wow. That's really cool.
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, I'm sure it's magnified because of the ice and all that stuff, but sure, like that's a slice of time right there. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's like
it does it to all of the ice cubes with this water.
Wow. And that's a sign that you did it right. That waveform.
Right?
Okay, so that's going to be the marker that I'm looking for if I make this activated water.
Huh.
That one almost looks like a vortex, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, and often when I mix the fresh water in with the monoatomic in salt water as I'm rinsing it, it will create these vortexes and spiral looking galaxies with exclusion zones of like arms of the monoatomics, then just straight water, then monoatomics, then the water. I'll get a couple pictures of those up to show you. And so here you can see the whole ice tray.
Wow. Yeah, you can see all of them. All the waveforms in the top. And they all look relatively about the same wavelength. Am I wrong about that, or
no? You're correct with that.
Huh. It has to be like a slice of what's happening, in time. That's really cool. Like a dinosaur frozen in a cube.
Yeah, sorry. Give me a moment to find the other pictures if you want to put it back. So to make it, Nathan, to make it go back to the way you had it with all 4, I believe it's either to the right of all of the pictures of us or right below on like the main part of the screen there. There you go. You figured it out.
Okay, got it.
You got it.
Getting better.
Exactly. It's just a learning process.
There was a question for you, Bernie. I'll ask it for you. Okay. So have you used distilled water and gold yet? So you know that you're getting actual gold and not a cascade of minerals.
Yes. Right here, for all of the ones that are just like straight first time experiments, I have the distilled water and use distilled water, and that let's see, distilled water, right? And that I found no difference in distilled water or my Canadian tap water, but anytime that I'm running it as a straight scientific experiment, I use the distilled instead of the tap water. And it's that the monoatomics I'm making is not from a chemical reaction like most Ormus practices where it's taking it out of the water. What I'm doing is I'm using electrolysis where the material being formed comes straight off of the physical metal solid anode that's in that reaction. So when I'm claiming that I'm making monoatomic gold, it's off of a 24 karat gold anode and 24 karat gold cathode. The silver, it's you know, I use 99.999% silver maple as both the anodes and cathodes. Copper, it's copper, zinc sort of thing, right? So that there's no possible way that it's other elements in what I'm making.
But also, if it's using the transmutation process, which is what we know is you know, charged clusters, if it's transmutating anything in any way, then it is relevant what's in the water.
Oh, absolutely, yes. And that's another part of the experiments and the process and the theory and what I'm doing and more advanced aspects of it. But this is just strictly for the Ormus monoatomic material and how to make it.
So would you recommend the distilled water for drinking, or it just really doesn't matter as long as you get that waveform?
Yeah, I would go start with distilled for sure. Then you know everything that's going in it, and that's actually especially true in areas where your water like might have like poisons or heavy metals and stuff like that already in it. 100%, because then you don't want to be charging those particles and those other heavy metals that are in that water into this Ormus state.
So what does this stuff do when you drink it? Just
I've been drinking it for 10 years now. I never caught COVID, never got no shots, was exposed to it like over 50 times at least. I haven't really been sick in 10 years. And people saying I'm looking pretty young still, being 39. I don't know. Maybe it's delayed me at 28 or 29 since I started drinking it.
Nice.
Hopefully, we'll see.
He found an elixir of life.
Potentially, right?
Cousin. Yeah, that's crazy.
We have some truly remarkable people in this group, on these shows, you know, like some really crazy stuff's going on.
With my agricultural alchemy last year, I put some of the actual monoatomic gold here next to a lettuce plant, and it grew 6 feet tall. And then all of the plants, so this is the purple gold and silver combination.
You drink the purple too?
Yeah, I've been drinking the purple water now for 2 years, and it's completely fine. And it turns purple when I leave it out in the sun and the moon. The sun for the gold and the moon for the silver, for those reactions. Or if I put some of my own like saliva, blood, hair, like DNA, biomass into the reaction as well, then sometimes it also forms it into purple state. But yeah, so watering with the colloidal water, the plants grew like 3 times the size of the other vegetables that were just with regular water. And then when I actually put some of the physical gold, silver, Ormus next to it, it was double that at 6 feet tall.
Dude, imagine growing some crops with that water in my coil.
Right? Exactly.
Wow.
That's the goal of it.
So interesting. Man, I learned more here than I ever did in school. That's for sure.
Right? I think everybody does, including myself. It's that right. It's sharing our own knowledge and what we've learned from it. And
They tried to keep telling me how to build an essay. Man, I could have been so much further ahead if they were just teaching coils and wires and,
right?
Stuff like that. We can, learn how to break stuff apart. Man, that's the fun of it.
Exactly. And yeah, so I just got confirmed on Sunday. This Sunday evening, I'm going to be doing a stream interview with Kevin Hay, and he does Vancouver Island Ormus, and he's just brilliant genius, and he's been showing results of like 3x, 6x times plant growth with all of his Ormus that he's been making for over a decade now, and also goes into explaining free energy, the ether, and just so much more.
Hey, Bernie, did you put the time of the stream and everything in the chat?
We are yet to figure out the specific time, but I think it'll be probably around 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern.
Okay. Gotcha. I'm still awake at that time. We're good.
Right? Exactly.
I'm in California, so when sometimes it's like, wow, it's like 9, 10 o'clock. I got up at 2 a.m. So it's like, wow, like way far out of my range.
Fair, right? I'm working on being on more reasonable time zones. Usually it's like I'm nocturnal by nature, and at 3 a.m. I get inspired to finally do a stream, or it's like I start putting it together at like 2 in the afternoon, and then it takes like 10 hours just to get all the freaking information together.
Dude, I think last week I woke up at like 4 a.m. and I missed your stream because it was like 2 hours earlier. And I'm thinking, yeah, just a little bit earlier. I could have caught it.
Yeah, and that's something else. I'm like, instead of starting in the middle of the night, just wait a couple more hours to like the morning, and then y'all be able to join in.
Oh man,
yeah, we really enjoy your stream. I know your last one was really good.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, I love the breakdown in metals, by the way. I was checking that out as you're using the electrolysis, and everything comes, completely destructs this whole thing, man, into nothing. It was just awesome.
Yeah, and so the next experiments that I'm going to try, I've got a bunch of extra microwaves. I just don't want to do it around my house. I got to get like extension cords and a big field somewhere. But apparently when you put the monatomics in with microwaves, it actually puts it back in a solid state, and that there's been many stories of it also transmutating them into new elements of, if you're combining different elements of Ormus together, that it'll combine them into heavier, like adding the two together sort of thing, the atomic masses, and giving you the new mass of whatever element that is.
If you cut a hole in the back of your microwave and attach a cell phone to it, you can get the camera to go right inside there as you're doing your process. And then it actually keeps the chamber intact. So you're going to get the microwaves inside of it. And you can get a spectrum analyzer in there, anything like that. It'll actually show the different temperatures and what's going on in there as well. So just so you know, for your experiment, when you get an old microwave, keep it. And if it works, cut that little hole in the back. I'll send you a video on it. There's a young kid. I say he's young. He's probably about 25 now. He does this experiment where he lights up aluminum foil with a little beaker over top of it, and he creates plasma in the top chamber of it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. You know what? I'll look that up while you guys talk. Let's see if I can't show it real quick.
I like the sounds of that.
But the way he sets up the experiment is perfect for you, what you're doing.
Right? Oh, big time. And especially apparently there is a I can never say the freaking word. Not even gonna try. Whatever it is, the analyzer of the light waves of what elements are app program for smartphones. Mass spectrometry, mass spectrometer. There we go. Right?
Oh, check it out. Okay, I found it. All right. Hold on. It's playing with me just a little bit. All right. So let's share the screen. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's the right one. Okay. So, yeah. Hold on. You can see he looks like a kid, right? Like I said, he's probably much older than that by now. Let me see if I can't find the spot where he does it. So you see the little pinhole in the microwave there in the back? Right, in the center of it?
Yep.
That's where his camera's coming through. So
Right, just need to make it large enough. See, that's ingenious.
So watch as he shuts this thing. This is what it captures on the inside. So watch this. Once he rotates it, man, starts it up.
Wow, I think I've seen one of these videos and I didn't know it was.
Yeah,
that's how they capture it. Yeah, that makes sense now. Yeah, I've seen a few of these, and I was never wondered how they recorded it.
Right? Yeah, like how did it?
Now it all makes sense.
Everybody lighting stuff up in the microwave. Yeah.
Yeah, like how did they do that? I never stopped to think. How did they do that?
I did. I always stopped.
I know because you operate on a different level, Nathan.
Look at that. Oh, look at the plasma.
Oh, wow.
Right? That's
it's
wild.
Dancing. It's dancing. Yeah, that's crazy.
Aluminum is my favorite when he hits that. So when he does aluminum foil in there, he said he did like silverware and it really didn't do much. So kind of strange.
He must piss off his parents a lot.
He's sitting in his garage with like 50 different microwaves.
He's all smelling like burnt plastic. Is that
burnt metal?
Burnt metal, yeah.
So which one's this? Oh, it's matches again? Huh.
So hold on. He's got the matches. Let me find. Oh, now he's just lighting stuff on fire. Okay. There it is.
Oh, there's the tinfoil.
Yeah, look at that.
It's just beautiful, isn't it?
It truly is a wild color, right? The blue of it.
And then there's purple flames at the bottom.
Right? White light, blue outside, and purple.
Well, you don't see them now, but at the start of it, you saw some. Oh, there you go.
Right.
Wow.
Purple at the bottom.
Yeah, you see the plasma start, and then he uses an analyzer to check out and see what light spectrums he's getting. This is like...
That's next level. See, that's what I need to figure out and start doing.
So he tells you how he does the trick, by the way, for the microwave in the video. So as soon as the video's over, I'll go ahead and post it in the chat for everybody.
But, appreciate that, Nathan.
Yeah, this guy, you see his experiments, man, and they're just off the chart. So,
yeah, I need a real lab. There's just only so much I'm willing to do within, your own home and property. And
yeah.
Oh, look at that. Just melted that.
That was glass? No, that's probably plastic.
That was plastic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was showing you different materials he put it in.
Gotcha.
So if you can't...
That's crazy how it forces the ball to the top. Or forces it to the top into like a little plasma ball.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's same thing happens if you put grapes in a microwave and capture it like that.
Yeah.
What's in the grape that makes it do that, though?
What's in the grapes? I
certain
don't know.
chemicals, I guess, certain metal elements, I'd guess. Then
I can look it up. Let me see.
Yeah. That's interesting because I forgot about that little factoid, putting grapes in there.
yes, I believe blue shift to red shift. That's space-time distortion, correct? Yeah, I think so. That was a question. Pretty sure.
Oh, here we go. This one looks like it lit up. So let me share that. Let's see what this guy's doing. What has he got? He's got grapes. Yeah, yada, yada. Let's get on to the grape.
Right? Like, just how much do we need to... How much of a video can you make about grapes in a microwave with plasma without it being the grapes in a microwave with plasma?
Exactly. All right, now we got some grapes.
Wow. Look at that. That's crazy.
But the reaction's even wilder when you cut the grapes in half. It doesn't look like they do that either.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to do that. It's kind of pushing it.
There we go.
Goes.
There we go.
Oh wow. Yeah, the grapes like fused themselves together. Look at that. That's insane.
But then when you put the glass over top, it shoots the plasma up and catches it at the top and does the same as like the metals were.
Oh.
Yeah, there it goes right there. I think he has it in glass.
Yeah, yeah.
That's crazy.
You gotta love plasma, man. All right. This guy took forever to get to things. Sorry, I don't
guess
know about
he's actually explaining some science in there. We're just not listening to it.
Yeah. We all just wanted to see the grapes. Come on.
Exactly.
Got to give him a little grapes in the beginning to show it kind of doing what it's going to do. Then you can watch the science.
It's about time for me to hit that old dusty trail, gentlemen.
Yeah, me as well. I got my mom's waiting on me to come help her with some gardening stuff. And, well, it's the heat of the hottest part of the day is now over. And I got to get my butt down there before the sun sets. But I will be back on, I believe, with the Woo Woo Wednesday episode in a few hours with Hans Dietrich. The Sunday with Kevin Hay going over the Ormus. And then August 8th, I just confirmed my next stream with Walter Bosley. And there's, oh my gosh, and I need to email Randall Carlson, as I think I actually got a stream coming up with Randall Carlson and the Medicine Hat Badland Guardians.
Could I please come on there with you when you have Randall Carlson?
Not the first time, but definitely down the roads.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Awesome. Awesome.
Much love, guys. Thank you for what you guys are doing, and we'll see you again, probably if not sooner, but Friday night, free energy Fridays, and be back. Hopefully, try to make your Monday stream as well. And much love, my friends.
All right, guys.
Have a good one.
Have a great night. Thank you for the great stream, everyone.
Have a good night, Nathan. Thank you.
You too.
I really appreciate it.
See you later, everybody.